For me, if you don't adapt, you die, you perish. And you might be a walking dead person. You might be alive, but in all reality, you're dead. And I originally saw that for myself as I got older and was still participating full on in action sports. And I realized this no longer served me to do all the time. And it broke my heart because I know what I'm capable as an athlete, what I'm capable of as an athlete. And it's not necessarily that I'm abandoning that, but I saw that I was focusing and spending all of my time elsewhere. I was more interested now. It was mostly through injuries. I was more interested in psychology and spirituality and business endeavors. And it really was really, really hard. And now looking back at where I am and where I've gotten to and what I've become is crucial for me to tell someone out there that may be going through something similar. And that transition period, a friend asked me the other night, we went paragliding and he was on the way back. He's like, he's younger than me. And he's like, hey, how was that transition for you? He's like, I know you don't really do professional action sports anymore, but how was that for you? How hard was that? And I've seen a lot of friends end up in a really bad place. I've watched friends kill themselves over this transition. Is because you spend so much of your life identifying as an athlete, as someone where this is their purpose, the sponsors are there, this idea of this is who you are is right there, and it feels so real. But when your ego gets punished for not realizing that that is not the actual you, and all this facade and all this fake stuff that you thought was you disappears. And what I'm talking about is all the sponsors leave you after an injury, or all your friends move somewhere else and you just feel like a lost being. That is when it hits you so hard. And I've felt that so many times that I was like, I'm just not willing to go through this anymore. And, mostly through injuries. I think injuries can be huge teachers, whether they're emotional or physical. They really teach you, and I talk about this all the time, to evolve and grow, because if you don't evolve and grow, you die. And, that transition period is really difficult. And if somebody out there is going through something like that, it doesn't need to be just an action sports to business or whatever. It can be transitioning from a job, or getting fired, or quitting a job, or moving on, or moving to a new place, or going through a breakup, or losing a loved one, whatever it is. We have to understand that we are adaptive creatures and we can overcome anything. I was also told by a mentor that it takes 6 months to really kind of recenter anything. And you can kind of get used to anything in 6 months. And it's very true, because the emotions kind of wear off during that time, and we go through certain things that just take time. If you're a kid out there going through something, you're struggling, a girl just broke up with you, a guy just broke up with you, you're moving, you want to be a TikTok star and you're not getting views or whatever, I just encourage you to remember and just put yourself first. Write your goals down. Goals are so important. And just not to be afraid that, your life isn't going to be the same forever. It's just not. And it's really difficult to understand that, but I always try to tell that to people. I'm like, look, we didn't know each other when we were 13, or maybe we did. But, now I'm in my 20s or 30s or whatever. And, the same people aren't around, the same situation. You might be living in a different place. You might have a new job. You might be having, find new passions. Everything's always in motion and it's always changing. And as soon as you can accept that, then I think the easier time that you'll have in life, because you won't get stuck to a certain idea. And the only guarantee and the only constant is change. And it's really difficult to understand and accept that, but it is what it is. And I just want to, serve this message to somebody out there that understands, like, hey, we all go through hard times, and those hard times build us. We're meant to endure them. We push forward. That's what we're here to do. Life is the schoolroom. And we come here to grow, and we come here to learn. And it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be here growing and learning and going through that pain. That's why we're here. Sometimes we don't know that, but we have to remember that. We have to remember that. It's so important. So if you're going through something, you're going through a transition, you have an identity crisis, you've lost your mind, just keep going. Just meditate, stay calm, stay the course, stay focused.